The reason why Pacific Symphony is so passionate about projects like this one is that we see the orchestra as essentially a blank canvas, and that any culture can paint on that canvas.
This particular concert, which celebrates spring, the celebration of spring, is NOWRUZ, which is the Persian New Year, actually came from one of the Pacific Symphony board members. Her name is Anoosheh Oskouian. And she started talking to me about the celebration of NOWRUZ.
One of the most celebrated occasions we have within the Persian community, despite of their religious backgrounds, their cultural backgrounds, the tongue they speak, is celebrating NOWRUZ, which is the Persian New Year.
This sounds like a fantastic way of bringing people together, inviting new people into our concert hall, and at the same time having a wonderful musical celebration.
It's the first day of spring, so everyone is very joyous. It's a great holiday, and I thought what better thing than to have a celebration named after NOWRUZ, and it all came about after I met Richard Danielpour.
Our dear friend Anoosheh just came up to me out of the blue and introduced herself. And she said without really much of a introduction or delay, she said, would you be interested in writing a piece that would in some way give voice to your Persian ancestry and culture, something that would be for the Iranian American community here, and something that would be particularly for NOWRUZ, which is the Persian New Year, which has a lot of wonderful meaning and symbolism. And I said, you know, what I'm really interested in doing is writing a large work that deals with a journey toward peace as a goal, and peace through reconciliation and forgiveness. And she said, well, you know, of course, that's exactly what NOWRUZ is all about. I said, yes, I know. That's why I think it might work.
So the Pacific Symphony has set off on an adventure to celebrate the Persian New Year of NOWRUZ, and it was really Anoosheh's instigation and her connection with our music director, Carl St.Clair, which led to an American Composers Festival's theme around NOWRUZ. And that in turn led to our commissioning Richard Danielpour to write us a new work and to bring the Shams Ensemble here from Iran and invite Farhad Mechkat to conduct the orchestra.
One of the most important Persian musicians is Farhad Mechkat. He is a virtuoso composer, musician, and conductor. And I am personally honored to have Maestro Mechkat here conducting the opening piece on our program.
Farhad was the former music director of the Tehran Symphony. He is a legendary musician for Iranian Americans because he really represented a golden age of music in Tehran.
Now, one of the most important things is the integrity of what we do and how it does justice and pays the proper homage to this great and a very important moment. So the number one thing is we had to have traditional instruments. So we have invited the Shams Ensemble. This is a group of instrumentalists who perform traditional Persian music, and their music is totally mesmerizing. Its rhythms, its harmonies, its unique sort of tunes, they will lend an incredible flavor to our program.
In Iran, people who have rifts and rows with one another that haven't spoken to each other for months usually bury the hatchet on NOWRUZ, you see.
Every time I speak to Richard Danielpour, he shares the same enthusiasm and the love of the season. He wants to bring peace where he believes this is the time that is needed more than any time.
So this, you can see how this ties in so beautifully with the idea of a work that might be titled Toward a Season of Peace. The season, of course, is spring. And spring in this work, and many of the texts of this work, is used as a metaphor for that renewal and transformation. I'm not an Iranian composer. I'm an American composer with a Persian memory.
I know how close he feels to this piece. I met with him in New York about 2 months ago, and we went through every measure of the score. And every measure just seethes with his personal connection and his hope that peace can come to us all, and that the dawning of spring, the celebratory moment, can be a catalyst to bringing us all together.